Today we're looking at the Tuna Mini Midi control from Worlde. Now, this is a very popular, well, it's not very popular. Now, this is a MIDI keyboard that will set you back around, I think, $80 on Amazon right now. And what it is a MIDI keyboard, and we're going to be talking about some of the pros and cons in this video. So just a basic overview of the product. You've got 25 key MIDI. I'm not going to count them out, but you can see right here, you've got the keys. And then off to the side, we got the pitch and the mod wheels. For me, in the DAWs that I use in FL Studio, the pitch wheel, these ones are not actually recognized. But in a lot of my other DAWs, like Persona Studio One and Cakewalk, BandLab, it is actually recognized. So I don't know, just kind of depends on what you're using with it. And then if you take a look up here, you got 8 customizable drum pads that you can basically make them do whatever you want using the included software with the product, which we'll talk about later. Now, you can actually change the color of these because these are RGB light backlit, so you can choose them if you want. We got 8 ones right here. Right up here, you got a nice logo on them that actually hasn't worn off in the year that I've used this. So yeah, that's probably something that you might want to get. And then up here, we got 4 keys. We got the shift key, which will actually allow you to reset both the octave keys, and I think that's about all it does. We've got the 1 through 8 and then 9 through 16. Essentially what that does is that just disables the keypads, and it only works with the keyboard. And then moving on up here, we got 8 customizable knobs that you can customize within the included software, which we'll talk about later. And then 8 customizable faders that can also be customized with included software, which we'll talk about later. Going to the side, we're going to look at the inputs on the side. We actually have a USB cable that most music instruments are plugged into, my DJ controller, my audio interface, and I think that's about it. But pretty much every bit of music equipment has this type. And then you also have I don't know the exact measurement of this, but it's used for like a foot pedal. So if you want to plug that in, and then you can use it with like you can use it with like a dampen pedal. That's what it's called, right? Yeah. All right. And then so let's talk about the keys first. So the keys are very short. Keys are very tiny. They're actually a lot tinier than they are described. They're very plasticky feeling. So yeah, so that's probably not great compared to a quality keyboard. Like there'll be a little bit more resistance, and they'll be a little bit more wider and they'll feel better. When you're playing chords, you actually have to because if you just try to play a chord, you might actually overlap in some other keys. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're looking to buy them. One glaring issue that I actually came across that you can't really see on here, the velocity control of the keys is way off. I don't know how velocity is measured in, but you play the key and then you can't even hear it. You have to either manually push down super hard, or you have to manually go into settings in FL and Ableton and change the velocity curve. These up here are not actually buttons, they're just pads that you can press on. These also have velocity control, and they were way more on point than this. If you're getting into music production and you don't really know what you're doing, this is probably not the best keyboard for you. But if you're experienced in music production and you just need an extra keyboard, MIDI keyboard, and then you're not actually going to be used for playing in melodies and stuff, and you're just using it to that you're not actually doing serious work on, like you're just trying to play like a few chords or something on, or just come up with melodies or sample instruments, this is a really good one. But if you're looking for something a little bit more professional, that you're trying to actually be able to play some longer pieces and come up with melodies on, this is probably not the one for you. Now, I will put a link in the description if you want to purchase this. If you want, it's not an affiliate link or anything, but yeah, link in the description if you want to purchase this. The big red flag with the software is that there's no dedicated website for you to actually be able to go into and download the software from. When I purchased my very first DJ controller, there was a little card that had the website like linked on it, like a little plastic business card thing. Well, it's paper, like a cardstock business thing. And then it had the website URL, and then I went into my computer and typed that in, and it just let me download the software that it came with. This did not have this. You actually have to, in order to download the software, you have to go into the Amazon. So you have to go onto the Amazon page. You have to scroll down where the questions and answers are. And then one of the top ones is a question from a buyer asking where the included software is, and they respond with a Google Drive link. Now, if you're a company that's wanting to give software with your product, don't ever use a Google Drive link, because that is pretty sketch. All right, that's pretty sketchy. You don't want to be going to some random Google Drive link and downloading the software for your product, because nobody wants that. It was also too big to scan for viruses. I did download on my computer, so I as of right now, I don't have any viruses. However, when I did try to connect it to my computer and tried to change some of the settings, it said that the Midi could not be loaded or recognized. And I've done it before on my computer that I have right now. It worked just fine. I don't really know what the problem is. However, that should not be the case. I mean, yeah, sometimes stuff happens. But yeah. So in that software, you can actually you can pretty much change everything, although I'm not quite sure if, it's kind of confusing how you do it, because there's no like hex codes that you have to type in. There's no like little dragger box that you have to come in. You actually have to, it's a drop-down menu of, I think, like 200 different options from 0 to 100, where you have to actually go in and change all of them manually to get the color that you want, which is not great. What the kind of swelling sound is, like it's playing like it's playing just a chord progression that he came up with later. And in case anybody's wondering, these are the chords. Follows that simple chord progression. Came up with earlier, I should say. And what it is it's actually it's a serum patch. It's one of the built-in serum sounds, and I'll actually play. Okay, I actually find the. I'll actually find the actual patch, and I'll play what it sounds like without any stuff done to it. I'm pretty sure it's under pads. Padded by Cymatics, called Pad Feng Shui. I actually really like it. And if you would like to download it, it's free for commercial and purposes use. It's going to be a link down in the description to go check it out if you actually want to use it. So yeah.